Hello, and welcome to Greensboro Beautiful's Art in the Arboretum. My name is Candace Martin, and this is my husband, Terry. Due to the pandemic, this year we are unable to present the annual event of Art in the Arboretum as we have in the past. So, we've developed a safe and socially distant way to showcase the garden, introduce you to art, and treat you to virtually awesome performances. The artists that would normally be lining the gardens, walkways, are featured on Greensboro Beautiful's website. Please check them out and show your support. They'll be listed there from now through the holidays.
We've been filming from the Greensboro Arboretum, where the garden would normally be filled with thousands of visitors. For this event, we put together a presentation to bring this experience to you at home. You will hear a number of musical performances by talented bands, musicians from throughout the area. We'll also feature presentations by many of the garden volunteers and curators, highlighting special gardens in the Arboretum.
Before we get started, we want to remind you that this event is made possible each year by private donations made to Greensboro Beautiful. Donations from people like you who help us bring these events to our community, as well as tree plantings, litter cleanups, and continued enhancements to each of Greensboro's 4 public gardens. You can show your support of this and other projects by using the link at the bottom of the screen. As a member of Greensboro Beautiful's Board of Directors, thank you. Thank you for all of the support received each year to help make our events and projects possible. Donations in any amount are truly appreciated.
Now, Candace, let's get to the show. We invite you to join and share your comments below, and please click the link to give any donations that you feel.
For 2 decades, the Walker Family Band has delighted audiences throughout the Southeast with a distinctive take on traditional styles, performing Irish dance music and American old-time music. The band is comprised of Scott Walker, his brother Landon, and Scott Mannering, a brother in spirit. When performing, they create a confluence of varying sound, always seeking a fresh connection with each audience. Here performing from the landmark arbor at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome the Walker Family Band.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here we go. 1, 2. Thank you. Thank you out there, all you folks that are out there. They're live here, just 4 or 5 of us. I'm so happy to be here at the Arts in Greensboro here at the Arboretum. Thank you so much. That was 2 tunes. Were written by lady members of our band that aren't here. The first one was Crocs with Socks, written by Linda Minky, Landon's wife, and my daughter wrote Sheets in the Garden. Now we're going to do one that I wrote that's called Cajun Occasion, and it's an occasion for some kind of Cajun music, we think. Okay, the next 2 pieces we're going to play is set. First is Rakish Patty, which is a traditional Irish tune. And the second one is Shreveport Shutdown that I wrote quite a few years ago. We're still playing it. Here we go.
Because it's that good.
It's that good. Okay, we got time for one more. So we're going to play another one that my daughter wrote, Jenny Bruner, who lives in Asheville. And this one is named for a drink she had called Mai Tai. So here we go. One, two, three. Thank you. So thank you, Meb and Ham. Thank you for having us. Thanks for all you guys at the Arts. What's it called?
Arboretum.
Art and Arboretum. I'm sorry. We're so glad to be here, and thanks for listening. See you next
year
time.
in person.
Thank you to the Walker Family Band. The landmark arbor at the Greensboro Arboretum was the first iconic features to be constructed in the garden. It's also the structure that you see when you're traveling along Wendover Avenue. And it supports the vine collection, which hosts a variety of plants trained to grow on the arbor. After the official opening of the Greensboro Arboretum in 1992, a 4-foot border was added around the outside of the arbor and filled with hundreds of perennials. These plants provide beauty and interest in the spring, summer, and fall. Here to talk about the perennial border is volunteer curator Nancy Warberg.
Hi, my name is Nancy Warberg. I'm the curator of the Arboretum Perennial Border. The border was started in the 1990s, and Jeanette Wyndham was the first curator. The garden designer, Edith Edelman, also helped plan the garden. It's changed a lot since then. We've added lots more space and a lot of plants since that time. There's a group of volunteers who work helping to maintain the garden. They are very dedicated. They come twice a month during the growing season, which here is about 7 or 8 months. They are very knowledgeable about plants, and I just sort of let them go, and they know what to do, and it's wonderful. We work very closely with the staff here at the Arboretum. They do the heavy lifting. They put out the mulch. They cut the vines. They fertilize, and they make sure the irrigation system works, which is really important when it doesn't rain in July. We couldn't do it, we have to work together. When we had COVID this year, we were not allowed to work in the garden, and it was terrible, and we all missed each other, and the weeds took over, and we're still working on that. One of the things I want to talk about is why they chose perennials to put in here. Perennials are great because you don't have to replant them every year, hopefully. They're supposed to last at least 3 years, and some of these perennials have been here since the garden started. There's a Goblin Gaillardia on the other side of the Arboretum that has been here since the garden started. It takes a lot of maintenance, but we want to keep it. And the birds love it when it goes to seed. The birds eat the seeds, and I hope it never goes away. There are other perennials here that are great. There's the red flower that you see right there, which is a cardinal flower. It attracts hummingbirds, and you can sit out here in the summer and August when it blooms and watch the hummingbirds go to the flowers, and they'll check out every flower to make sure that it's got some nectar, or they're going to see if there's any nectar in the flower. There are Rudbeckias here, black-eyed Susans, that have probably been here since the garden started. They're the yellow flowers with the brown eyes. They also attract birds. The garden is a great habitat for birds and butterflies and insects of all kinds. And and even little creepy crawly things sometimes, which we try not to talk about too much. There are a lot of birds are also very attracted to the Echinacea, the coneflowers that are right here, that really are looking lousy right now. But those little brown seed heads are what feeds the birds in the winter, especially if they are migrating from one area to the other. They'll come in here and just eat those seed heads. So we leave them. I think the trend in gardening now is for us to garden not just for people, but to garden for the animals, the birds, the moths, the butterflies, all the insects. You know, we've got to think about them. We've got to live together with them and provide a better habitat for them. Let's see, what else? The blue sage that you might see over here. The bees and the butterflies love it. And it blooms from June until frost. And that's another thing that's great about some perennials, is that they will bloom for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months sometimes. There's one that everybody who does perennial gardening ought to have in their gardens. It's called Agastache, which is sort of a long name. And the one we have here is a blue one. And once it starts blooming, it's just covered in bees and butterflies. And it blooms from June all the way through to frost. And that is a good perennial. And then it comes back the next year. Let's see, what other perennials? The begonias here are actually perennial begonias. They don't have to be replanted year after year like the wax begonias do. And they provide nectar for bees and butterflies. We're also trying to get more native perennials in our gardens. This spring, the butterfly weed, the Asclepias Tuberosa, was just gorgeous. And I don't know if it was because we had a lot of rain, but it was just outstanding. And so we put in more this year because it did so well. And there's, it's a prime nectar source or food source for the monarch butterfly. And there's actually one feeding on an Asclepias plant over here that was fun to see. So, in conclusion, perhaps if you are a new homeowner and you're wondering what to put in your flower garden or in your yard, come out here and look at what we have to offer. And if you have questions, the staff will be glad to answer any questions that you have about the perennials. But perennials are great, again, because they last more than 1 year. And you aren't wasting all your money replanting every year. And they provide a great habitat for our other friends that share the earth with us.
Thank you, Nancy. This garden is one of 4 botanical gardens that were developed and created as part of the partnership between Greensboro Beautiful and the city of Greensboro. Here to talk about the partnership and the history of the Arboretum is Greensboro Beautiful Chair, Andrena Coleman.
Greetings. In the mid-1980s, Greensboro Beautiful broke ground in this portion of Lindley Park to begin development of the second public botanical garden. With private funding from the community and the support of city staff, the Greensboro Arboretum was completed and dedicated to the city of Greensboro in 1991. This 17-acre site now features 14 plant collections, special display gardens, and distinct structural features. The extensive variety of plants offer rich educational opportunities for children, adults, landscape designers, and homeowners. Over the years, Greensboro Beautiful has added many special features to the gardens, including the butterfly garden and fountain, a perennial border around the landmark arbor, a wedding gazebo, oversized wind chimes, a pollinator meadow, and so much more. We have also added educational signage at the butterfly garden, the pollinator meadow, and the Right Plant, Right Place collection. Greensboro Beautiful continues to provide funding to support these additions and enhancements. Working in partnership with Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department, Greensboro Beautiful's Public Garden Committee, which is made up of volunteer curators, work to ensure a high level of maintenance to plan additions to special gardens, features, and educational signage. On behalf of Greensboro Beautiful, we thank all of our donors, volunteers, for your contributions and continued support of our efforts to make Greensboro beautiful. Thank you.
Island Vibes feature Paul Patrice, a talented songwriter and musician from the Caribbean island of Dominica. Since 1973, he has performed in his Dominica homeland, Canada, and the U.S. He showcased a variety of Caribbean trends, with a pop rock twist. Paul's creative arrangements combine the smooth, infectious dance vibes of the Caribbean with the emphasis on positive, encouraging lyrics for family-friendly entertainment. Here now to perform from the Blanche Benjamin Overlook at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome Island Vibes.
Going? Has my life been shining bright? Is my spirit showing? Don't wanna hide you, I wanna be like you, oh Lord. Oftentimes I wonder, do I convey your message? Am I an example of your love inside of me? Just wanna know, Lord, that your love shows in me, So please forgive me if I doubt. Sometimes I just fall down. You always pick me up, Lord, and I know that I'm forgiven now that you're living in me. So forget the worries of this life and let His love shine through, and it'll be alright. Everything will be alright. Jump over all the obstacles that stand in front of you. It'll be alright. Everything will be alright. You'll see. Thing will be alright. I remember that you had to die so I could live to tell the greatest story of glory and love. Oh, boy. So if you need an answer, you don't need to know what's true. Let your heart before the Savior give it away. So forget the worries of this life and let His love shine through, and it'll be alright. Everything will be alright. Jump over all the obstacles that stand in front of you, and it'll be alright. Everything will be alright. You'll see. Irene. When night time's growing old, until you there's a new breeze blowing. So rise up, this can be your time. Rise up your head, rise up and live. You right there, you're right on time. So open your eyes, lift up your head. There's a lot to be seen in this time. Summer's here and flowers in full bloom. The sun's in the air. So get up, get out and try to find out what life has in store for you. Sunshine shining everywhere. Oh, sunshine, sunshine shining everywhere. Sunshine. Sun is the light, the moon and the stars lightening. Then love is the night. So open your eyes, lift up your head. There's a lot to be seen, a lot to be done. Summer's here and flowers in full bloom. The sun's in the air. So get out and try to find out what life has in store for you. Sunshine shining everywhere. Oh, sunshine, sunshine shining everywhere. Sunshine, sunshine shining, sunshine shining. I'm telling you that sunshine shining, sunshine shining. Ire, thank you. Thank you. Grooving in the garden today. You lively up yourself and don't be no drag. You lively up yourself, don't be a drag. You lively up yourself, don't say no. You lively up yourself, 'cause I said so, yeah. So you rock, so you rock, so like never did before. Now you dip, so you dip, so you skank, so you skank, so and you rock, so you rock, so you lively up yourself. Don't be no drag. so. Well, what you got that I don't know? Trying to wonder why you had to go. Yeah, what you got that I don't know? Trying to wonder why you had to go. You see, you lively up yourself and don't be no drag. You lively up yourself. Reggae is another bag. Yeah, yeah. You lively up yourself and don't say no. You lively up yourself 'cause I said so. Yeah. I wanna lively myself now. Wanna lively myself. Wanna lively myself. Wanna lively myself, y'all. You lively up yourself and don't be no drag. You lively up yourself. Reggae is another bag. You lively up yourself and don't say no. You lively up yourself 'cause I said so now. Thank you, thank you. So much trouble in the world. Yeah, man. Peace and unity in the naturalist camp, y'all. So much trouble in the world. There's trouble in the world now. So much trouble in the world. There's trouble in the world. I woke up this morning. Johnson is on the rise once again. The way that things are going, anything can happen. Them sailing on their ego trip, blast off in their spaceships. Them skanking on reality. No care for you, no care for me. So much trouble in the world. There's trouble in the world, y'all. So much trouble in the world. In the world, yeah. We gotta give a little and take a little one more time. Yeah, yeah. another cornerstone there behind you. Got to change the day, come what may. Too many people are dying. Too many people are suffering. We're floating on a time bomb. Now I know the time has come. What goes on is coming on down. What goes around comes around. So much trouble in the world. There's trouble in the world, y'all. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. There's trouble in the world. Like I said, peace and unity in the naturalist camp. War and confusion over there. Yeah. Yeah, man. Go to bed, but sleep won't come. Wake up in the night, just couldn't find my feelings. Early in the morning, it's just the same situation. Here comes the landlord, knocking up on my door. I got $400 a month rent to pay, and I cannot find $1. I'm telling you, time talk. Everything is out of sight, it's so high. Let me tell you, time high. Everything is going higher and higher. Sister Lee can't take it, and Brother Belton can't stand it now. They're struggling night and day, harder and harder. With $400 a month rent to pay, and he can't find a job. I'm telling you, time talk. Thing is out of sight, it's so high. Let me tell you, time high. Everything is going higher and higher. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Check this. Good times once turned to bad times, but now the bad times take over. When I was a little boy, I just kept feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. Can't blame your brother, can't blame your sister. Don't blame the preacher. Tell you tomorrow is judgment day, and that's why we have to pray. We got to pray. We got to pray, Lord. We got to pray now. I'm telling you, time tough. Everything is out of sight. It's so high. Let me tell you, time high. Everything is going higher and higher. 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 Yeah, man. Rough times in.
Thank you to Island Vibes. Just as a reminder, this event is being brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful through private donations from the community. We invite you to join in and share your comments. And if you like what you see, please use the link at the bottom of the screen to show your support. Another way to support Greensboro Beautiful is through its holiday greenery sale. Here to talk about it is Greensboro Beautiful volunteer Beverley Gass.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here to talk about the Holiday Greenery Festival that's been a tradition with Greensboro Beautiful for well over 25 years. It's one of those community traditions. In fact, I remember going to my first one well before many of you were born. And one of the things I love most about it were the fragrances of the greenery. Now, unfortunately, this year, you're not going to get to go inside and do pickup. We're going to have curbside, and I'll tell you a bit more about that. But, you know, it's just a cool event. And the best part of it all is our big annual fundraiser for Greensboro Beautiful. And during this festival, you have the opportunity to buy wreaths or garlands of roping, lighted balls, note cards. You know, we just have a full-scale operation here for you. We're going to be sending out emails and mailing out order forms next weekend, the 1st of October. You can order by using those order forms. You can go to the website, which you need to memorize, greensborobeautiful.org, so you can get there fast and order a lot. Or you can just telephone it in to Greensboro Beautiful. We will take your orders any way that we can get them because we're so grateful to have your support. And as far as the wreaths that we have wreaths sizes from 12-inch to 34 inches. And the greenery that these wreaths are made from all come from the mountains of North Carolina. So it's native North Carolina product. It's high quality products. The greenery and the wreaths are delivered this Saturday before pickup day. And the pickup day this year is Sunday, December the 6th. And as I mentioned, we will have curbside. We have a plan, a traffic flow. We have masks, hand sanitizer. We're going to observe all the necessary things that we need to do during this particular time. So we hope you'll go to the Greensboro Beautiful website or look for your order form. A new product, well, it's not new this year, but it was new last year that we're really pleased about, are our note cards. We have 12 individual photos of scenes from our 4 gardens, 3 each per garden. As I said, they're 12 in a package, and they're $15 for the package. You can order those on this order form. We have lighted balls, a real Greensboro tradition. They're white lights and multicolor lights, and they're already made, and you can buy them from us. So we have greenery, note cards, lighted balls, and bows. We also have bows ready for you to purchase. So that'll be on the order form too. So please, if you don't get the order form quickly enough, go to our website, greensburybeautiful.org. And finally, before I finish here, I want to tell you about a special project within this Greenery Festival. It's called Wreaths on Wheels, or WOW as we know it. And what we do is we hope that you will put in an extra bit of funds to support a wreath that then will be delivered the day after the pickup to the by Senior Resources of Guilford. They deliver through their Meals on Wheels to each of their participants and clients. They'll deliver a wreath with a red bow. And we have heard so many wonderful things about how meaningful this is for these folks who maybe can't get out, they're shut in, and it's an opportunity for you to let these people know that you care and that we all care. Thank you. We look forward to you spending lots of your money on wreaths and greenery. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Beverley. Eric Hunsucker has been performing since the age of 5. He studied music at East Carolina University and performed original rock and country along with your piano favorites from Billy Joe and Elton John. He performed music from the 70s, 80s, and enjoyed taking requests and people singing along. Here to perform the Allen Family Butterfly Garden and Fountain at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome Eric Hunsucker.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Hunsucker here at the Greensboro Arboretum, and I'm excited to be here. Hope you enjoy some of our piano playing, and thanks to Lynn and Mebane for having us and everybody in the whole team here that's helping. So thanks a bunch. Well, the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better beware of a man named Leroy Brown. And now Leroy, more than trouble, you see he's standing about 6 foot fall. All the downtown ladies call him treetop lovers, men just call him sir. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole dang town. Badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. And now Leroy, it's Friday, he was throwing dice. And at the end of the bar looked a girl named Doris, and she was looking nice. When he cast his eyes upon her, the trouble soon began. Ah, Leroy learned a lesson about messing the life of a jealous man. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole dang town. Badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Let's go! Now, Blondie, he was looking right. Leroy looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole dang town. Badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Yeah, badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Yeah, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a little country song by Tim McGraw. We just had Labor Day a little bit back, so I hope you enjoy this one. It's something like that. Labor Day weekend, I was 17. I bought a Coke and some gasoline, and I went out to the county fair. When I saw her for the first time, I was standing there in that ticket line, and it all started right then and there. She said, "Sky made a perfect sunset, and that's a day I'll never forget." She had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. killing me in that miniskirt, skipping rocks on the river by the railroad tracks. She had a suntan line and red lipstick. I worked so hard for that first kiss, and a heart don't forget, something like that. Yeah! It was 5 years later on the southbound plane. I was headed down to New Orleans to meet some friends of mine for Mardi Gras. When I heard a voice from the past coming from a few rows back, I couldn't look, couldn't believe just what I saw. She said, I bet you don't remember me. And I said, only every other memory. I had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt, killing me in that miniskirt, skipping rocks by the river by the railroad track. She had a suntan line and red lipstick. Worked so hard for that first kiss, and a heart don't forget, something like that. Like an old photograph, love can never be the same, but the memories of the first love never fades away. I had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. She was killing me in that miniskirt, skipping rocks by the river by the railroad tracks. She had a suntan line and red lipstick. I worked so hard for that first kiss, and a heart don't forget. I said, heart don't forget. She said, heart don't forget, something like that. All right. Little Tim McGraw there. I had a request for some killer, which is for you young kids that probably don't know, is Jerry Lee Lewis. So it's been a while, but let me see if I can do this one. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will. What a thrill, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Took my love, but I thought it was money. You came along and you moved me, honey. This what is mine, you're all mine. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Well, kiss me, baby. Ooh, feels real good. Hold me, baby, yeah. I want to love you like a lover should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine, 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 mine. I chip my nail and I twiddle my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, you drive me crazy. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kiss me, baby. Ooh, feels real good. Hold me, baby. Yeah, I want to love you like a lover should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine, 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 mine. I chip my nail and I twiddle my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, you drive me crazy. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. How about this one? Said, come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I said, come on over, baby. Baby, you can't go wrong. Come on over. Whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I said, come on over. We got chicken in the barroom, barroom, barroom. My boss, come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. Whole lot of shaking going on. All right, get real low, get real soft. I said shake, baby, shake it. I said shake, baby, shake it. Shake you, baby, shake it. I said shake it, baby, shake it. Come on over. Whole lot of shaking going on. One time. I said shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Oh, shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Come on over. Whole lot of shaking going on. Well, you shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. Come on, baby. You drive me crazy. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Woo! Awesome. Thank you all very much. I'm Eric Hunsucker. Have a great rest of your fall and year. Love you guys.
Thank you, Eric. Just as a reminder, this event is being brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful through private donations from the community. We invite you to join in and share your comments. And if you like what you see, please use the link at the bottom of your screen to show your support.
The Allen family butterfly garden is formed in the shape of two butterflies, each filled with colorful plants which attracts butterflies. The butterfly garden was part of the original design of the Arboretum and the center of a fountain. The garden design especially strikes when viewed from the overlook. Here's to talk about the butterfly garden is volunteer curator Terry Hammer.
Y'all, thanks for listening. Excited that you're here at the Greensboro Arboretum. I'm Terry Hammer, and I am the curator for the Butterfly Garden, and I think it's amazingly beautiful and exciting, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you. A couple things I'd like to mention just to start off. It's a way station for butterflies that travel through the United States. They start in different sections of the world and the country. They end up here for a while because they know we're here and we know that we have the food they love. And so that's very exciting for us, and it's very exciting that they are here. I've seen a bunch of them in the last couple months, and it's exciting just to see them. The other thing I want to mention before I get into the plants behind me is the fact that a bunch of the trees around here are called host trees, and what that means is the butterflies, the caterpillars of the butterflies will launch into these trees, and then those beautiful cocoons develop, and then the butterflies fly out of them. It's like a miracle. It's very exciting. The most important one that we all focus on a lot here is the monarch, and the monarch really likes the milkweed, and that's actually in this garden right here. It's kind of hard to point it out. Can't really do that because it's not that big, but that's where the monarch butterfly, the cute little caterpillars that are green and striped and so cool, kind of emerge into the beautiful monarchs that we do see here a lot. So it's very exciting. Some of the other bushes and things, not bushes, but plants and things that we have here are for bees and butterflies and just all the wonderful things that we need so that we're able to offer pollinators to the world and keep us all healthy and feeling good. Just a couple of the flowers that we can see here. The big tall flowers are called the spider flowers. The very interesting thing about them is they're volunteers. They just kind of pop in here. I guess the birds must drop them in there. So that's why there's so many of them everywhere. Another one that's a big provider of food for these different insects and butterflies is the Joe Pye. The Joe Pye weed, which is the one that it's kind of hard to see because they're kind of going to seed right now. But the important thing to note is when they're going to seed, it's almost as important as when they have flowers. And the reason for that is different birds and bees love the thistles and things that are left over when they go to seed. So that's interesting. One that you'll see here a bunch, you see the pink all over, those are the sedums. And the sedums are basically for the bees. The bees actually really love sedums. Some butterflies like them, but I think the bees like them best. And bees are really important in this area. Again, the milkweed's in there. Then we have the butterfly bush, which is the big tall purple bush in the back over there and in the back over there. Butterflies do like those, but also all the other insects that you think about might even like them better. There's some thistles, which I really think is interesting. When I first started gardening, I used to cut the thistles off because I thought those are very, sort of unattractive and maybe kind of dead. Well, as it turns out, birds love to swoop down and eat the thistles that are dried out and you think they're dead. So be mindful of trimming your gardens, and that's what I've noticed is this looks like a little bit unkempt, but the birds and the bees and the butterflies love unkempt. They love the leftovers that are left after the beautiful flowers, and that's one of the things that they eat. It's very exciting. The last thing I want to mention are the ones that you see in your gardens a lot. At least I see them a lot around town. Two kind of common flowers. The black-eyed Susans, which many people have in their gardens, and I love them too. They are in here somewhere, but they really just don't show up because they're not big and present. And the other one that many people have is the, on a moment, the button bush, which actually we do have some of the button bush, and I can't really see that either. Sadly, not many of them you can see because they're kind of below the weeds, but the animals still love them. The insects still love them.
Thank you, Terry. The Allen Boys are North Carolina's only torn sacred steel band. The music makes you forget about everything that happened and just have fun. Members E.J. Trice, Ramsey Moore, Mitchell Fonville, and Cameron Moore all hail from a small church in Mount Airy. They combine the sounds of gospel with blues, rock, country, and have created their own signature Taking You to Church sound. Performing from the Heart Chimes at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome the Allen Boys.
Can we play a little blues for y'all? All right. Put sure everybody's in agreement with a little blues. don't let the devil ride. Tell you if you let him ride, he'll take your car and drive. Don't let him ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one better known as a Negro spiritual. During the times of slavery, individuals would write songs and sing songs to one another to communicate for meeting places. And one of them was Down by the River. That was to let you know we're meeting down by the river because it's prayer time, it's church time. And also during that time, they would let each other know when it was time to escape or to leave to freedom. And this is one called Wade in the Water, in terms of wading in the water, which means, you know, to lay low, hide yourself. So this one is played a little bit more intimately, so we ask that you enjoy. Thank you. sensual and rocky, and I was feeling it a little bit. But something that we do on a regular, we like to go to church. Can we make it a little bit rowdy out here? So if you feel like moving your head, if your toe gets to tapping a little bit, that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong. You're not having a muscle spasm. It's just the music. That's what happens when you come to our church. You know, we get down a little bit. You might see somebody do a backflip or two across a pew. That's all right. They're not crazy. They're just having a good time. Can we have a good time with y'all? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last one for the evening. Once again, y'all give it up for Mr. Cameron Moore on the guitar. Give it up for Mr. Ramsey Moore on the drums. Mr. J.R. Fonzie, Mitchell Fonville, and I'm Mr. E.J. Trice. We're all quasi family, y'all. We grew up pretty much in the same church, come out the same organization, and been together for years. As family. I just joined on not too long. But these boys are bad, ain't they, y'all? They bad. Yeah, that's cool. Can we do a little Mavis Staples for y'all? Can we take y'all back to the 70s, 60s? You know, take it back to knickknacks and Cadillacs and bell bottoms, Coke in a bottle, glass bottle. Said I know a place, y'all. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worrying, y'all. Ain't no smiling faces. Ain't no lying to the races, y'all. Said I take you, I take you there. Oh, I take you, I take you there. Said I take you, I take you there. Oh, I take you, I take you there. Said I know a place, y'all. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worrying, y'all. Said ain't no smiling faces. Ain't no lying to the races, y'all. Said I take you, I take you there. Whoa, I take you, I take you there. Said I take you, I take you there. Whoa, I take you, I take you there. Here we go. Y'all making me sing. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worrying, y'all. Ain't no smiling faces. Ain't no lying to the races, y'all. Said I take you, I take you there. Oh, I take you, I take you there. Said I take you, I take you there. Oh, I take you, I take you there. how we sing it in church. Say, I will bless the Lord at all times, for He's good. Oh yeah. I will bless the Lord at all times, for He's good. I will bless the Lord at all times, for He's good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. J.R. Fonville on the bass, y'all. Come on, J.R. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. J.R. Fonville, yo. Randy, can you show off a little bit? Y'all put your hands together for Mr. Ramsey Moore on the drums. Bit of reggae, y'all. Come on, fellas, here we go. Now shut the door and keep out the devil. Shut the door, said the devil is a lie. You shut the door, keep out the devil. Light the candle, everything is alright. 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 Light the candle. I know a place, y'all. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worrying, no. Ain't no smiling faces. Ain't no lying to the races, no. Said I take it, I take you there. Said I take it, I take you there. Oh, I take it, I take you there. Said I take it, I take you there. Oh, I take it, I take you there. I take it, I take you there. Oh, I take it, I take you there. Said I take it, I take you there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Island Boys, y'all. May y'all have a good night and have a smile upon you.
Thank you to the Allen Boys. Just as a reminder, this event is brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful. Through private donations from the community, we invite you to join and share your comments. And if you like what you see, please use the link at the bottom of your screen to show your support.
A few years ago, Greensboro Beautiful added honeybee hives to complement the ornamental grasses and pollinator meadow. And to help educate about the importance of honeybees and the urgent need to protect them, here to talk about the honeybees is our volunteer who cares for the beehives, Rob Jacobs.
Okay, hi, I'm Rob Jacobs. I'm the volunteer beekeeper at the Greensboro Arboretum. Welcome to my world at the Arboretum. I moved bees in here in the fall of 2017, and when we first set up the bee fence here, none of the planting that makes up the ornamental grasses and pollinator meadow were here. It was a flat area with grasses bordered by the holly type plants along Wendover. But since then, this area has become the favorite dining spot for pollinators all over Greensboro. or at least within a mile or two. The honeybees easily have a 1 or 2 mile foraging range, but here they really don't have to go that far to get a good meal. As pollinators, we want them to pollinate to make our fruits, vegetables, nuts, and give us a great variety of food and more of it. But that's not why they do it. The pollen is the protein in the diet that is mixed with nectar or the carbohydrates to make the bee bread that is fed to the baby bees. The pollen, the adult bees may consume very small amounts of it, but with a variety of pollens come different levels of protein and different micronutrients, so that the bees are getting an incredibly healthy mix of pollens plus plenty of nectar here. The place is also highly attractive for butterflies, wasps, bumblebees, solitary bees, and I have no doubt that you see hummingbirds if you come the right time of the day. So all sorts of pollinators feed here. But the difference between honeybees and those others is our ability to put the bees and keep the bees where we want them or where we need them. They are almost unique in the bee world in that they overwinter as a colony. And so the honey that they store is their canned food or their emergency food for overwinter. If they make extra, we as beekeepers get to take that. If they don't make enough, we're going and buying 25-pound bags of sugar and feeding them so they will be able to make it over winter. But so far, having enough nectar and making enough honey here in the Arboretum has just not been a problem. So I'm not really a plant person. I'm learning, and I can ask the Greensboro Beautiful volunteers, what is that? Or I can ask the city of Greensboro Parks and Rec people who are out here, what is that? And so things go from being stuff that bees get on to, oh, that's horse mint. And in fact, that's a plant that has been so productive in just the perfect time, July, August, and September, that when I asked, what was that wonderful plant that the honeybees have been working this last several months, and I learned it was horse mint, and I learned the specific type of horse mint, I've already ordered a flat of 50 plants so I can dig a space in my backyard and start establishing it and spreading it around, because I have not seen any other plant that prolific in nectar production at just the right time when there's almost nothing else for the honeybees to eat. I love it. I love keeping bees. I love talking to people about bees. So if you see me working the bees when you come out to the Arboretum, and if I don't look up or I don't respond to you, then just quietly say hello so you don't startle me, and I will be happy to talk with you about honeybees or answer questions if I can, and help you enjoy this incredibly beautiful place. Honeybees die when they sting. So honeybees do not want to sting unless they feel their hive or home is being threatened or they are being threatened. So if you move slowly and calmly under most circumstances, you are highly unlikely to be stung by a honeybee. If you are on the other side of this fence, you are far enough away that generally the bees don't care. All they want to do is go out and collect the food or the water that they have been asked or targeted to get, and then come back. So if they're on a bloom and you're watching them, if they come at you, don't swat, don't move quickly. If they get tangled in your hair, hopefully you can calmly just try and brush them out, and you should be fine.
Thank you, Rob. All of the collections and garden areas in the Arboretum have been selected to showcase plants which grow well in the Piedmont region. Several of our volunteer curators have been telling you about a few of the collections and specialty gardens, but there's so many more. Here to talk about them is Matt Hicks, Botanical Gardens Superintendent with the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department.
So, like Candace said, this garden is designed to teach homeowners and landscapers about plants that they may not be used to. We take plants that they can buy in a nursery or garden center, plant them out in the ground, and let them see what happens. It's so hard to distinguish a small pot from what it'll actually be, so it's good to actually give people those ideas. The small tree collection, for example, there's 90 plus trees in there that people get to see all grown up. Many of them are 30 years old at this time, so they've got a lot of size to them. Continuing on from there, we go to the sun shrub collection. Obviously, as the name says, it's plants that grow well in the sun. But we expand on our typical plant palette in those areas in order to, again, give people options, allow them to see what's there. Within the sun shrub collection is the rose arbor that allows our climbing roses. There's about 8 or 10 varieties of climbing roses that climb the arbor, and then another number of shrub roses that are surrounding said arbor, all different colors, sizes, shapes. So another cool thing to check out at that time of year. Next to that sun shrub collection on that side of the bridge is also our Right Tree, Right Place collection. This was something that came about after Duke Energy came in and had to do some transmission line maintenance, and we realized people don't really realize what kind of plants can go under those trees, under those lines, excuse me. So we put in a collection of multiple 20 or so different varieties of plants that fit perfectly under those power lines that may go through your neighborhood. So again, just another option to try to teach people the things that can be done with plants. Another option that we have here is the shade garden collection. It was one of the original collections from the beginning of the garden. Again, plants that grow well in the shade. It's another one of those tough spots that people have a hard time figuring out and knowing what to do with. So we give a lot of options, everything from camellias to hydrangeas to rhododendrons and such. Connected to that shade garden is the rhododendron collection, which again is a number of 25 to 30 probably rhododendron varieties. You come here in late May or so when the timing's right, and they'll all be showing off for you at that time. As you come out of the shade garden, there is an outdoor classroom, a nice little gathering place for people to sit and talk and just kind of have that shady spot to gather. From there, you can come down to the ground cover collection and meditation garden, which is where we're at taping from right now. Ground cover plants, stay low, cover the ground as it says again, but just a lot of options that can fit in those holes, sun or shade. There's some small trees you'll see in here, again, just to kind of give some variance to it, but this also is where the chimes are housed. 20 plus foot tall set of 3 chimes that if you come on that right day, you can hear the gentle breeze moving them around and just making the best sound you can find. Another option we have is the winter garden, which also houses our wedding gazebo. It is both plants that bloom in white primarily during the wedding season and plants that are at their best in the winter. It may be fragrant blooms, it may be fruit, it may be foliage color or conifers that are holding their color, but all options for the winter garden. Another option that we have is the hydrophytic garden, plants that enjoy wet areas. There's hibiscus, there's several different grasses and such in there, things that can handle being wet at times and being underwater to some degree. Within that collection is the butterfly garden, which we've have discussed at other parts of the video with the curator there, but attracting butterflies within that area. It's similar to our pollinator garden. That's one of the things that is important for us here is trying to be as conscious as we can be about the natural world around us as well. The conifer collection is another one that was one of the original collections here. At this point, there are some huge conifers in there, some things that you might have seen a tag that says they stay really small that aren't so small anymore. So that's what 30 years will do for some plants. Just below the conifer garden is the Sequence of Bloom collection. Plants that bloom throughout the year. There should be something blooming at any point in the year in that collection, and just showing that we can do that. So many people target either the spring or the summer with their blooms, but you can find things that bloom throughout. The other collections that really come to mind are the holly garden, which has some established large hollies primarily, and the bouquet garden that is right there across from it that features a lot of plants that are useful for bouquets. Right now there's a lot of zinnias blooming in there. There's hydrangea and other similar plants. So just a lot of options throughout this area. And then if you go up on Ashland Drive, there's the overlook, which provides one of our more picturesque areas, I guess. People will stand up there and take the shot down across the hydrophytic garden and the butterfly garden. So just a lot of options to come out and keep you entertained and see the plant world around you. So look forward to you being able to come out and join us as the weather and such permits.
Thank you, Matt. With nothing but an acoustic guitar and a voice that invites you to listen, Jesse Dunks brings you a blend of pop and soul that is sure to resonate. One part skater meets one part dreamer in her lyrics as she blends a sense of young heart with an old soul. Performing from the Dwarf Conifer Collection at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome Jesse Dunks.
Cool. Here we go. Impossible puzzle, an uncrackable code. Her heart is a treasure, it's hidden when nobody knows. With the voice of an angel, she's fiery and cool. There's really no telling just what she'll do. She'll do what she'll do. She Lindy hops to conclusions. She's light on her feet. If you think that's impressive, you should see the way her mood swings. She's an unreadable letter, an incomprehensible clue. She's driving me crazy. I don't know what I'll do. She'll do what she'll do. Oh, she'll do what she'll do. She'll do what she'll do. I'll take it. I like all my words to be edible. I keep all my scars symmetrical. I was lost and found on a merry-go-round, and I've never felt so spiritual that I prayed for a miracle. Keep my friends closer than my enemies. All my songs have similar melodies. Caught a boy laughing uncontrollably, and I've never felt so lyrical. I sat still under the waterfall, thinking, God, I don't wanna be conversation turns to cotton. Bright ideas grow and die on the couch, and I was lost and found in the bathroom, just staring at my eyes and holding tight to my raffle ride. While the love of my life still cheats on me and hums me to sleep with jealousy, had me lost and found in the ocean sound, and I never felt so overwhelmed in a sea of music. You may lose your breath, but be careful not to drown. Boy, I don't wanna be deep anymore. Just waiting to watch upon simplicity's shore. I've been coughing now for a year or two. Try to keep my hugs intentional. I was lost and found on a barroom stool, and I've never looked so comical. I heard my dad say, I told you so. Had a bout with social anxiety. It caught me off guard when it lied to me. And when we met in my Sunday best, I've never felt so underdressed. Who would have guessed my New Year's kiss? Oh God, I don't wanna be high anymore. Just waiting to watch upon sobriety's shore. Sobriety Shore. Hope you enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites. I wrote it a couple years ago. Means a lot to me. So this next one is one of my favorites and a crowd favorite. This one is Stop By. She's sleeping, curled up on the right side of my brain, holding hands with my dream and never letting go. No, oh, she's sleeping, curled up on the right side of my brain, pretty to paint, too complex to calculate. Oh, hey, I'm dreaming tonight. If you wanna stop by, I really won't mind. I really won't mind. No, I'm realizing she's blending in with the ceiling. I trick myself into sleeping just to see her one more time, one more time. And oh, how I'd hope that she would turn around, or maybe make a sound. My subconscious understands. So I'm dreaming tonight. If you wanna stop by, really won't. That's that one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. This is my next one. This one's called Wrong Reasons. Eyes, I see the world. It seems so obvious now. His hat tries to hide his wild curls. Yes, his dark furrowed brow is how he stares at me like you can't believe. Carries the wild rage of the open sea. He runs like the waves when he can't stand to stay. See how fast he can leave, and know, as constant as you are, you still change with the seasons. If I do kiss your mouth, it's for all the wrong reasons. I wanna make you believe what I could never believe in. Falling in love with the feeling of forgetting, and he was falling in love with my hair. I was faking a fever, he was being an overachiever. I was crying over unanswered prayers, and there's the way he laughed and danced with me. Then where did he get the audacity to walk out the car and down the just breathe and know, as constant as you are, you still change with the seasons. If I do kiss your mouth, it's for all the wrong reasons. I wanna make you believe what I could never believe in. And as calm as you seem, you still shake when you're driving. If I promise I'll try, will that stop all the fighting? I told him I loved him and he said you're lying. Like I could love somebody like you. That's all I wanna do, is to love someone like you, for all the wrong reasons. Awesome. This one, I'm gonna end with this one. This is a song that I wrote about my boyfriend at the time. He is now my brother-in-law, so it makes for a fun song. This one's black and white. Sit down with me, put your hand on mine, help me play these keys, teach me how to breathe. So simple and so easy. Please, and you say you've got nowhere to go, you can stay all night. We could fall in love with black and white. Watch the morning sunrise. Just promise me that you won't cry, at least not tonight. Not tonight. I'll pick you up. We drive not too far just to sit in a parking lot. We were laughing and now we're not. Now we're not. And the moon is shining through the roof. You say, God, if you're real, why won't you give me proof? 'Cause I think that I could know you now. And I say I've got nowhere to go. I could stay all night. And the colors outside are between black and white. But if we sit on cars just to watch the stars, I can't promise that I won't cry. At least not tonight. Not tonight. I wish I could see in black and white for you and me. I wish I could see in black and white. I wish I could see in black and white, you and me. I wish I could see in black and white. And you know that you make me feel not so alone, even when you're talking about your girl back home. If you don't wanna kiss me, let me know, 'cause I can't promise that I won't try. At least not tonight. Not tonight. I wish I could see in black and white, you and me. I wish I could see in black and white. Oh, I wish I could see in black and white for you and me. I wish I could see in black and white. Thanks, everybody. That's about all I got for today. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Jesse. Just as a reminder, this event is brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful. Through private donations from the community, we invite you to join in and share your comments. And if you like what you see, please use the link at the bottom of your screen to show your support.
You probably noticed the variety of evergreens which served as a backdrop to Jesse's performance. This is the Dwarf Conifer Collection. Our next guest has served as a volunteer curator for this collection as well as the Hosta Collection. He seeks out new and appropriate conifers on his own time. He has involved a well-known Hosta grower in the industry and continues updating the collections on a yearly basis. He is easygoing and wonderful to work with for both staff and other garden volunteers. Here to talk about the Green Hill Farm Hosta Collection and the Dwarf Conifer Collection is Dr. Graham Ray.
Whenever this building was built, we had a big red bank here with nothing on it. But we decided to put in, we could do a dwarf conifer collection there. We put in 80 different plants. And they were just little 1 gallon, little dots all over the place. When you see them now, that was in 2001. So this is 20 years of growth. Every year we will come in, and every spring we come in and shear them back. It keeps them more compact, and it doesn't make them open up when the snow hits them or anything like that. We probably should have done it again this year there. everything grew so much this year with all the rain. But most of them are the original plants. A lot of them we've lost. Plants die for no reason at all. This is a good east-facing slope, and it gets morning sun and some late afternoon shade, which is ideal for dwarf conifers. Dwarf conifers, the true species of conifers, which are cone-bearing evergreen plants usually, these are just mutations from it, and you can get all kinds of colors and sizes, and they do a lot better in the home landscape than full-size trees. And they're becoming more and more popular all the time. They might grow, that big in 10 years, and some of them might grow 20 feet in 10 years, and some of them keep growing. Dwarf conifer just means slow growing. They keep growing, but at a slow rate. I'll start out by saying this is not a good time of the year to show a hosta collection because they're beginning to deteriorate and go down for the winter. Our original collection was up on the hill up there in too much shade, and the voles had eaten it up. But when we put this in, we put in 7 tons, maybe it was 8 tons of vole block. We never had a vole problem. We put in 180 different species of hosta, selections of hosta, I should say. And most of them are still here, but a lot of hostas have just disappeared. We've replaced a lot of them with different ones from the original. But Paige takes good care of them. She's the girl who takes care of this collection as well as the conifer collection. And I don't do much anymore. But we come back and put in this little miniature collection later. This was 2002, this original collection was put in. We put this in about 7 or 8 years ago, the miniature collection. We probably had at least 20 plants in here. So we got overall 200 plants. Yeah, Bob Solberg from Green Hill Nursery helped us out originally with our plants, and he comes by here about once a year, and we talk plants and decide what we want to take out and replace. But it's been a job. But thankfully, we don't have any deer here and don't have any voles because of all the material we put in there. But we fertilize them every spring lightly, and we have to treat some of them occasionally from root rot. But that's what hostas do. They're kind of persnickety. Hostas do not grow in the sun. And nothing grows in deep shade. Hostas do not grow in deep shade. They got to have nice dapple light. That's what they prefer to have. But some hostas like these may only grow 2 inches high, and there's some in here grow up to maybe 3 feet high. There's a full range of hostas in colors and variegations and leaf shapes.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. William Neesmith has a passion for crafting pop hits and impressive vocal range. A North Carolina native, William is a talented, trained pianist, but he delivers high-energy performances. Performing from the Lee Britt entrance patio at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome William Neesmith.
All right, so this next song is actually my debut single release. So I'm a, local performing musician in the area, and I do, mainly cover song gigs. But this is my first sort of attempt at releasing original music to streaming platforms. So you should be able to find this song on all streaming platforms. It's called Just Love, and I hope you enjoy it. You and I are going against the grain. You and I, yeah, don't remember our names. You and I are doing something insane. You and I are standing against the waves. You and I are running into the flames. You and I will never be the same. I don't care what's on the other side. Hold your hand tonight. Let the pain run down from your face right now. Let it out so we can be just love. Yeah. Let the shame fall down. Let the hate it out. Melt away so we can be just love. Just love. You and I may never be understood, but you and I are living and loving for good, and you and I is all I'll ever need. I don't care what all the people say. I will hold your hand and stay. Let the pain run down from your face right now. Let it out so we can be just loving. Let the shame fall down. Let the hate it down. Melt away so we can be just love. We are fighters without guns. We are daughters, we are sons. We are lovers and we will not run away. We are fighters without guns. We are daughters, we are sons. We are lovers and we will not run. You and I finally get to be. You and I, whoever we want to be. And you and I will be happy and free. Let the pain run down from your face right now. Let it out so we can be just alone. Let the shame fall down. Let the hate it down. Melt away so we can be just alone. So I mentioned that I do quite a bit of covers, and usually at my sets I wear party sunglasses to go with the songs that I'm singing. So this next song is actually one of my favorite cover songs to perform. 19 weeks at #1, 2 Grammy Awards, and featured on a Super Bowl ad. Take a second and think about your favorite song. And think about the fact that this next song, and not your favorite song, went #1 for 19 weeks. Yeehaw. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah, nah, nah. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more. Gonna take my horse to the old town road I'm gonna ride till I can't no. I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Hat is matted black, got the boots is black to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your porch. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, bull riding and boobies. Cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty. Can't nobody tell me anything. Can't tell me a gosh darn thing, no. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on a brand new guitar. Baby's gotta have it, diamond rings with any sports bras. Air Rodeo and my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, kick on back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't. Hey, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. Gonna ride till I can't no more, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so keeping some fun with the glasses. This is actually an original of mine, and it's all about falling in love over the phone. Because I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I was feeling so great, I was staying up late on a Monday night, yeah. I was chilling at home, I was checking my phone when you caught my eye, yeah. So I said, what's up? And you hit me up, didn't think you'd say hi. And we had a good chat, and I don't wanna say goodbye. Uh-oh, the combo's heating up, you're kinda hot and I'm feeling it, Uh-oh, and no MG, I'm feeling like an emoji, cause I got heart emojis in my eyes. Get it? Heart emojis in my mind. When you text me, I reply. Heart emojis, heart emojis. Then the very next day when you wrote me like, hey there, and how you doing? I said, nothing much, just chilling. And you said, oh really, I've been thinking about you. And well now, I'm jumping around, I'm screaming out loud, and you know I'm woohooing. Cause I think you might like me, yeah, I think I like you too. And uh-oh, my phone keeps blowing up. You hit me up and I'm loving it. Uh-oh, with no MG, I'm feeling like an emoji. Cause I got heart emojis in my eyes, yeah. Heart emojis in my mind. When you text me, I reply. Heart emojis, heart emojis. So don't stop, keep texting me. I wanna get you right next to me. I just met you yesterday, and my name's not Carly Rae, but you can call me maybe. Talking on the phone, hit me up on the daily, and I be in the zone, got me feeling so hazy. You got it going on, and you make me wanna shout it out loud. I wanna know just who you are, let's chit chat. You make me wanna write bars, Kit Kat, ha. Think you little spark, I admit that. And now you got me seeing hearts, and I be like, OMG, emoji, LOL, and you are all that I see. And I love it when you call and oh me, oh my. All I do is say hi now, I'm got. Thank you. Okay, so this is sort of my COVID-19 song. When the pandemic started, I joined this writing group, and one of the prompts was, "What has spring delivered to me?" And unfortunately, spring delivered something to all of us, but there is something that is stronger than all of the fear and hate and pain that we're all currently feeling, and I wrote a song about it. There's something stronger than anything you fear. It's reaching farther. They say it's disappeared, but I've seen it conquer all that tries to break us down, down. And I can hear it 1,000 miles away, and I can see it, yeah, every single day, and I can feel it. I can feel it all around. Contagious love, spread it like a fire. Contagious love, louder than a choir. When fear and pain come in to tear your world apart, let love infect your heart. We're still together, though we're far apart. Things will get better. Just open up your heart and please remember that you can always let love in, let it in. Contagious love, spread it like a fire. Contagious love, sing it with the choir. When fear and pain come in to tear your world apart, let love infect your heart. Let love heal all that is broken in your soul. Let love heal all that is broken, make it whole. Let love touch everyone that needs help. Let love make well. Contagious love is spreading like a fire. Contagious love, sing it with the choir. And in the times that everything is so unsure, let love be the cure. No, they never can contain this love, and nothing will keep us apart. Let love infect your heart. Thank you. Okay, one more. This is an original song. I'm just keeping the theme of love going. I did Just Love, Contagious Love. This next original song has love in the title. It's called Live in a Love Song. I know that there has to be more to live in life. I smile and make them believe everything is fine. But I wish that I could run away to a place where there's a love that's just for me. I want to live in a love song. Nobody's broken in a love song. Nobody's hoping for a love they've searched their life to find. 'Cause they're already holding your hand, standing by your side. I want to live in a love song. No more of this clouds floating on happiness and never coming down. I'd smile and sway the night away to a warm and never-ending melody. I wanna live in a love song. Nobody's broken in a love song. Nobody's hoping for a love they've searched their life to find, 'cause they're already holding your hand, standing by your side. I wanna live in a love song. I wanna live in a love song. Nobody's broken in a love song. Nobody's hoping for a love they've searched their life to find, 'cause they're already holding your hand, standing by your side. I wanna live in a love song. There is no sadness in a love song. Just endless magic, and a moment feels like all of time. Spending every minute with your one and only Valentine. With eyes full of stars and a belly full of butterflies. You're holding my hand, standing by my side. I wanna live in a love song. I wanna live in a love song.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, William. Just as a reminder, this event is brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful. Through private donations from the community, we invite you to join and share your comments. And if you like what you see, please use the link at the bottom of your screen to show your support.
The newest collection in the Greensboro Arboretum is the Ornamental Grasses and Pollinator Meadow. This area was developed to promote the use of native plants and grasses to help protect and support all types of pollinators. Here to talk about this area is volunteer curator Steve Wyndham and our resident pollinator expert, Christina Larson.
Okay, so I'm here today to talk a little bit about the ornamental grass and pollinator meadow collection here at the Arboretum. I was fortunate enough to work with the staff on designing this garden about 6 years ago, and we started with the idea of doing an ornamental grass collection, and then we quickly added pollinators to that. And when I say pollinators, I'm talking about the flowers. A lot of different perennials that we've used in combination with the ornamental grasses to provide more nectar and food sources for our bees, birds, butterflies, all of those things that are considered pollinators. Why did we do that? We recognize that pollinators are endangered, and you hear a lot in the news these days that honeybees are under a lot of threats. Well, bumblebees are as well. And just in general, a lot of nature is struggling, birds, bees, butterflies, etc. Monarchs, you've heard a lot in the news about the decline of the monarch population. So that's really why we started doing this garden, the ornamental grass and pollinator garden. We got involved in the early stages here at this garden when it was just flat grass, nothing but like lawn, what most people have in their yards. So we took it from that flat rectangular piece of lawn and created this ornamental grass and pollinator meadow, and it's taken about 6 years to fill in to this point. It really provides a lot of color all year long, and I say even in the wintertime, it adds some color and texture. While a lot of it's brown, but there are different stages of brown colors with some green hues mixed in. But the flowers bloom from spring to fall, and there's a lot of different flowers throughout. So we've tried to have a blend of perennials here that some start in the spring and bloom in the spring, so there's a food source for the pollinators early in the year, and then in the summer, and then now in the fall, you can see some of the dominant species that are in bloom at this point around me now. The goldenrod is one. There's some of the black-eyed Susans, Rebecchias are blooming now as well. Some of the other perennials are starting to fade. Joe Pye weed is one of my favorites. It's a great long-lived perennial that butterflies really love. A lot of the grasses, like this is a switchgrass, which is also known as panicum. There are, I think, about 8 different varieties of switchgrass in this garden alone. So while you may be intimidated to plant some of these grasses that get 10 feet tall in a normal residential setting, there's many of the same types of grasses as far as the genus and species, but they're different cultivars that are smaller and lower growing. For example, Shenandoah switchgrass is a grass that gets about 3 or 4 feet tall, but it's the same species and genus as this larger switchgrass. I like to use a combination of the plants, the grasses, and the perennials together. There's a lot of contrast in texture. There's contrast in color. There's movement in the gardens when there's a breeze blowing. The grasses really showcase that very nice. Something about when there's just a gentle, cool breeze blowing in this garden and the grasses are waving back and forth. It's a very relaxing feel. So Greensboro Beautiful is instrumental in providing, well, we bought the plants or helped pay for the plants, all of these plants. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how diligent the staff here has been to work in these gardens to plant and care for and maintain these perennials and grass areas. While I'm the designer and I'm a curator, none of this would look like it did if we didn't have the staff that we have that really does the hard work, heavy lifting, and continual maintenance of it. So I'm very appreciative of all their hard work. What are some of the particular pollinator plants that I've used in this garden? I mentioned the goldenrod, and I mentioned the black-eyed Susans that are in bloom now, the Rebecchia. I mentioned Joe Pye weed, but there are some of my favorites. One that is well known to be a fantastic pollinator is called mountain mint. There's several different varieties of mountain mint. You can walk in this garden at any time during the summer and see thousands of bees and different kinds of wasps and bees on the mountain mint. It's just in constant motion, different colors. The life that's in this garden is incredible. Also, early spring flowering, there's a plant called Baptisia that blooms early spring and gets 4 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet tall. Blue flowers, kind of a spike. Some people call it false indigo. And I really want to stress the importance of the use of native plants in this garden. What's really important with insects is to have native plants that for eons they've been accustomed to feeding on, using as host plants to raise their young. And without without those native plants, the insects don't feed well on all of the non-native or invasive species that you see, but prefer our native indigenous type species. It is also very important to use a lot of diversity, I feel like, in the gardens. Here in this garden, I don't really have a good number for how many, but I would say there's probably in the neighborhood of 150 different varieties of plants in this garden alone. A lot of them look similar to one another, but there's different. Within ornamental grasses, there's probably 30 different ones in this garden alone. So the structure, what's important with ornamental grasses and flowers to go together, it provides structure for the bees and butterflies to lay their eggs, to hide, if you will. Some species of birds like to nest in these areas. So it's really a wildlife sanctuary. I think that's what really draws me to this kind of garden, is the ecologically friendly nature of this garden. It's environmentally sensitive. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm passionately believe in, and really am proud to see how well this garden has come together.
So, one of my favorite parts of Art in the Arboretum is actually the collections of plants that are there all the time, not just during the event each year. And what I really enjoy is checking out the plants and seeing how the pollinators interact with them. What do I mean by pollinators? Of course, bees, everybody thinks of that, right? But also butterflies, hummingbirds, and lots of other flying creatures that you may not think of. So, for example, we look at the pollinator meadow and we see there are a lot of grasses in there. Why are those there? You can definitely check out all the interpretive signage that we have out there. But, really it's for shelter, not just during the summer and the nice part of the growing season when we typically see bees and butterflies out and about, but even during the winter. So we really, as home gardeners, we want to resist cutting back our perennials and our grasses until basically late winter or early spring. Leave those things standing because there's so many beneficial insects that we need in our landscapes that use those plants. I'm going to give you a quick 3 ways we can help the bees. All right, this is at home. First is, as much as you can, avoid the use of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers, or at least avoid overusing them. Always follow label directions, of course. But if we can just let some weeds grow, especially things like dandelions, those are really great plants for bees. And oh, by the way, they're great for humans too. If you let them grow without the use of chemicals, you can eat them. They're extremely nutritious. There's actually a movement in this country towards planting clover lawns. And if you can't tolerate that much, bee forage in your front yard, maybe at least find fescue blends that really rely on less water, less fertilizer, and frankly, less mowing. Who doesn't want that? So, you can check out tons of resources on the internet for bee-friendly lawns. Out here in the pollinator meadow, you'll see some plants that are really great for bees. Make sure you check out those labels. Things like bee balm. Obviously, if it's got bee in the name, it must be good for bees, right? But another one I want to call your attention to is mountain mint. There is actually no better plant for pollinators. If you plant this, whether in the ground or in a container, you will see more activity on that plant than anything else in your garden. So it's obvious that those insects, the small bees, the little tiny wasps, all sorts of different flies, but these are beneficials, okay? You'll see them all over that plant, so it's a good one. And the third tip I have for you regarding bees is don't fear them as you tour the gardens. You will see out here the beehives, and so there are quite a few bees, but guess what? They're not interested in us. They're more interested in flowers and in getting inside that hive and making their honey and making their propolis and all the beneficial things that they do. So they really only are going to be a threat to you when you're a threat to them. So, if you grab a bee, of course, you're going to be given some response by that bee. Or if you threaten their nests, of course, they want to protect their young. But otherwise, if you move carefully about the gardens, don't flail your arms when one comes near. They're just checking you out to see what you're about. You should be fine. As far as butterflies, I've got 3 quick tips for you, ways to attract more butterflies to your garden. It's not just about a butterfly bush. If you plant that, yes, of course, you will see some butterflies, but it's really far from all that they need to complete their life cycle. So the first thing they need are host plants. And you can, again, look on the internet for resources on this, but I'll give you 3 host plants that are important for butterflies that you'll find in our area. The first is for swallowtail butterflies, which are usually pretty plentiful for us. Anything in the carrot family is what they use to feed their young, their caterpillars. So that includes parsley, fennel, and dill. And these are beautiful plants that are also great herbs for us to use in cooking. So just plant enough for you and for the butterflies. When you see the caterpillars, don't freak out, just plant more. So that's for swallowtails. For monarchs, which migrate through our area, both in usually mid to late spring and then again in early to mid fall, they need something in the Asclepias family, which is milkweed. So there's lots of different milkweeds, but there are a few kinds that are more readily useful in our area. Definitely check out your local garden center to see which ones they carry and what their growth habits are. And again, you'll see the caterpillars shortly after you see the females out there laying the eggs. And it's really a fascinating life cycle to witness. The third one is a little more uncommon, but it's the cutest caterpillar there is. So I implore you, if you do nothing else, please plant a spice bush so that you get the spice bush swallowtail caterpillar. They are just unbelievably cute. Trust me on this one. What else do butterflies need? They need nectar plants. So once the caterpillars transform into butterflies, of course, they need to eat, and pretty quickly right away. So you want to think about the butterfly anatomy. They need something they can stand on to extract the nectar from the flowers. So they need a flat flower or a stem that they can hang on to while they access the nectar. So some great examples are anything in the daisy family. Definitely zinnias are super easy annual to grow and super colorful for the garden too. And then coneflowers. But if you grow coneflowers for the butterflies and the bees, make sure it's the single type blooms, not the doubles. The doubles are very ornamental, very pretty, but they're not useful to the pollinators because they can't access the pollen and the nectar. And then the third thing for butterflies is shelter. So they need shelter from both wind and from predators. If you think about where that caterpillar goes to put its chrysalis and transform over a few days into a butterfly, they need somewhere that they can hang that chrysalis upside down that's sort of inconspicuous. So, they'll travel 20, 30 feet to find that, but you really want some sort of shrub or tree to both provide shelter from the wind and from predators and to just make them inconspicuous while they transform. So definitely take a walk around the Greensboro Arboretum and all of the gardens, the botanical gardens in Greensboro. But, take time to sit and watch these interactions and then take action to help pollinators in your own garden. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Steve and Christina. The Zinc Kings met playing old-time music at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Go Spartans. Their music blends traditions from the North Carolina Piedmont, including old-time, early bluegrass, Piedmont blues, and folk songs, with their songwriting and arranging sensibilities. Their high-energy performances have earned them top prizes at folk festivals across North Carolina. Performing from the Tanger family gazebo at the Greensboro Arboretum, please welcome the Zinc Kings.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2.
Don't they look pretty all swinging in the ballroom, taken by the hand and away you go. You can do the same and there ain't no shame if you don't sing Ding and Bark now they go. Thank you so much. We are the Zing Kings. We are thrilled to be playing for both an online and a live audience. It's been since really March, since we even saw one of our favorite things in the entire world is watching dancers. This is the first time we've seen people dancing to music since March, if that. So thank you so much for the dancing too. So we are practicing safe social distancing, so sometimes we'll be masked on, sometimes we'll be masked off, so excuse us if there's a little bit of muting. But we'll just sing louder if we have to. Thank you all again. So. Thank you all so much. Thanks to Greensboro Beautiful. Thank you so much for Arts in the Arboretums. Thank you for everybody working so hard to make live music and our music in general just continue happening.
There we go.
One. Carolina, well, I'm writing you this song to tell you that I love you, and I never should have gone. The years I've been away from you, well, they seem like far too long. Carolina, I miss you. Carolina, I love you. Carolina, I should have known this all along. Carolina, I'm writing you this song. Carolina, I was a young and foolish man, convinced that my plan should take me away from you. Now city streets, they seem so empty, and I dream of you all I can. Carolina, I miss you. Carolina, I love you. Carolina, with you is where I belong. Carolina, I'm writing you this song. Carolina, the way you blow in the springtime. Carolina, the way you sound on a summer night. Carolina, the way you smell in autumn. Carolina, the silver glow on a winter night. Carolina, please excuse my innocence. The grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. Now Carolina, I'm begging you, please just give me one more chance. Carolina, I miss you. Carolina, I love you. Carolina, with you is where I belong. Carolina, I miss you. Carolina, I love you. Carolina, I should have known this all along. Carolina, I'm writing you this song. Carolina, I'm writing you this song. Thank you. It does seem like a lot of our songs are about finding your home in North Carolina. Again, with only one of us actually being from North Carolina. So, pretty great place to find your home in. This is so much better. I mean, we were expecting this was going to be pretty great, but this is so much better than we expected because we'd sort of figured we'd just be doing the video part of it without actual people in front of us. You know, actually seeing human faces and playing for human faces, so wonderful.
I'm like gonna cry, and
I am
Greensboro
too.
Beautiful is doing an amazing job keeping this all going. Please give a big round of applause for Greensboro Beautiful and for Arts in the Arboretum for keeping this going for us and for local artists and musicians, because a piece of us is missing when we're not doing this for the people in our community. And if it's not for organizations like Greensboro Beautiful putting things like this on, like I'm getting choked up because it's amazing to like see real people playing music for them. So anyway, thank you so much, Greensboro Beautiful and Arts in the Arboretum and everybody involved for keeping this going. It's such a great event that happens every year, and so I can't believe how fun this is. So Mark kind of jokes about how we have a lot of songs about how we all found our home in North Carolina, and here's another one of those songs. Clearly it's a place that means a lot to us, and we all met here in Greensboro, so it just means a lot to us as well that we've been able to call this place our home for me and Ryan for 15 years, and
Basically, we could never move, so.
we can never leave now.
Yeah.
We're here forever. So this song is called Born Again in the Red Clay. Boom
boom, chugga boom, boom, boom. Northern shore, and a big blue house where ghosts of soldiers whispered family names. A forest floor, where the rocks and bricks outlined the homes we built to play our games. We grew and we knew we'd leave behind a piece to keep, but more to find. I was born again in the red clay. I played that tune my soul to save, and every breath I take adds to the song of what I'll become. Snow piled high, and as February made me weary, winter whipped along. By and by, I rode the spine of the Appalachian South to learn a different song. I found a sound, a home to start, with new eyes, new hands, a new life, a new heart. I was born again in the red clay. I played that tune my soul to save, and every breath I take adds to the song of what I'll become. An open field where cities spring up from the earth and vanish on the wind. We are healed, need not family, but yet we love like kin. We laugh, we cry, we all become. We give and we live. We are many but one. We are born again in the red clay. We play that tune our souls to save, and every breath we take adds to the song, and we all become from anyone. We are born again in the red clay. We play that tune our souls to save, and every breath we take adds to the song, and we all become from anyone. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to do one more. And it's a funny little dance tune mashed up with kind of a nerdy folk pop song from the 60s, which hopefully you know and will enjoy nerdily singing along with us. Ready? cycled past your window last night. I roller skated to your door at daylight. It almost seems like you're avoiding me. I'm okay alone, but you've got something I need. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key. I think that we should get together and try them out, you see. I've been looking around a while, you got something for me. Oh, I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new pair. And a roller skate, I don't drive no car. I don't go too fast, but I go pretty far. For somebody who don't drive, I've been all around the world. Some people say I've done alright for a girl. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key. I think that we should get together and try them out, you see. I've been looking around a while, you got something for me. Oh, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. I asked your mother if you were at home, and she said yes, but that you weren't alone. Sometimes I think that you're avoiding me. I'm okay alone, but you got something I need. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key. I think that we should get together and try them out, you see. La 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 la. I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key.
Thank you all so very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Greensboro Beautiful and Arts and Arboretum, for having us. We're the Zinc Kings, and tune in for all the rest of the acts that you're going to see at Arts and Arboretum.
Yep.
Thank you to the Zinc Kings, and thank you all for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed Art in the Arboretum, Virtually Awesome. Brought to you by Greensboro Beautiful. You can show your support by using the link at the bottom of the screen. Again, donations in any amount is truly appreciated.
That's right, Candace. Greensboro Beautiful makes this and other events possible each year with private donations from the community. Donations from people like you who help us bring this event to our community, as well as tree planting, litter cleanups, and continued enhancements to each of Greensboro 4 public gardens.
We'd like to offer special thanks to the City of Greensboro for being a part of this wonderful and unique partnership for over 50 years. We invite you to be a part of this partnership. Visit us at greensborobeautiful.org to find out how you can volunteer, donate, and join us. Thanks again for watching.